What's up, guys? It's Spiderwolf back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going to be going over the brand new Smart Falcon. I don't know why the fuck I had trouble saying that. And the brand new support banner with Supercreek and Tsuzuna Hayakawa. But before we get started though, I greatly appreciate you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe. It would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers for the end of the year. But with that being said, let's continue. So this video, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it is late. Sorry about that. I was really busy yesterday, the day before / the night before, and I was way too exhausted, so I didn't have time to record it. And the exhaustion carried over till today, so sorry about this video being late, but I'm still going to try to provide you guys with information that we'll be looking at today for both of these banners and whether or not it's worth it. As you guys know, the go-to though for Uma banners, it's literally up to you 99% of the time, because Umas will be replaced later on for which is meta and which is not. And overall, I just say pull for whichever Uma you're interested in. You don't always have to really go for the meta. Now, in terms of meta, as I always say, also support cards are usually where meta tends to be. Umas, it's literally, you have different like dirt, you have mile, pace chaser, you have a whole bunch of different things for different Umas. You don't really need to chase any Umas for that. Plus, the 2-star, 1-star Umas will basically fill in all those slots for the most part, so you don't really got to worry about meta. In that case, in my opinion, at that point, just pull for whatever Umas you're interested in. Regardless though, let's look at what our girl Smart Falcon does. Also, we do have a brand new event here, Spring G1 Race Celebration. So basically, you get like 150 carats out of it, you get some money, maybe get some other stuff out of it, some pretty general useful stuff, which is pretty cool. Now, looking at Smart Falcon here, she's part of Love Forever. She has most stats into Guts, decent at second is going to be into speed, and then everything else is about the same with stamina, power, and whip. She's mainly built for dirt, so pretty good actually, because we don't have that many dirt Umas in the game besides the free one, Aurora, right? And of course, Oguri Cap, if you get her, you can build her towards being dirt. Otherwise, she's already inherently really good with dirt. Also, I always forget sometimes to move my camera. Let me go ahead and do that real quick here, just so you guys can see some other stuff here. All right. She's also not too bad in sprint. She can work as a sprint chaser. She's really good, or I don't think it's chaser, just sprint runner. She's really good in mile. She's also really good in medium, and she's pretty bad in long. So you basically want to build her build her for sprint, miles, or mediums. That's mainly what she's going to be good at. She's mainly good in the front. You can maybe make her work as a pace chaser. She would just need a bit like really good parents that will buff that pace to like A or B. But for the most part, she's going to mainly be a front runner, and then there's no point in running her in late and end because she's really horrible at those. She has a lot of growth rate at 20% for speed, and then a decent amount of power, so pretty good stats, I'd say, in my opinion. Now, her unique skill here, Sparkly Stardom. Become empowered against seeding the spotlight when about to lose the lead on a straight mid-race. So this would be really good if she's a front runner, in my opinion, because it literally says when she's about to lose the lead, someone's about to pass her, like maybe a pace chaser or a late runner. This will help her continue to stay forward, right? So that could be pretty good there. Now, our potential skills here are wet conditions, 90 skill points, moderately increased performance on good, soft, and heavy ground. Not too bad, kind of decent. We have center stage here at 120 skill points, increased navigation early race, kind of a decent skill. So your Uma's don't get blocked off as easy, so not too bad. We have Oi Race Course here at 90 skill points and moderately increased performance at Oi Race Course. And then the last one here, training in the charts. Mind you, these are all based off the ascension level, so you would have to, ascension level 2 you get this, ascension level 3 you get this, 4, 5, that's basically how these work. And then on the final ascension here, she gets training in the charts, which is 180 skill points like I just said, and it increases velocity when engaged in a challenge mid-race. I'm assuming challenge is probably when an Uma's trying to pass her, and specifically if she's running in a dirt race, right? So I think this is overall pretty good. But yeah, a decent option if you want to pull for her. Like I said, if you do like her, go for her. But if you're looking for meta, she's not a bad option, but not one of the, like I said, top tier ones that we currently have. Like I said, also in my last couple of videos, this month we're basically not getting like any like meta Umas for the most part. Next month we should start seeing some of the more like meta-ish ones where you can pull for them if you want to, but they're not like super crazy. The first one technically is going to be around like big one for value is going to be the Summer Marzensky one, and then it's also going to be the Christmas Oguri Cap. Those are like the bigger ones. Technically also seeing Sky that's going to be coming out relatively soon, probably the first one for next month is also a pretty good pickup, but not like super crazy. But she's like technically the first one, but like not like, she doesn't give you like a lot of value, I guess is how I would put it. Anyways, look at Smart Falcon. Let's look at some more information here. So I have 5 stars here. She gets 115 speed, 104 stamina, 104 power, 122 guts, and then 105 wit. And then we went over all of these. Her awakening conditions here for what conditions: moderate increased performance on good, soft, heavy ground, this one you basically would have to do, is that what I say? Oh, okay, display. Yeah, so we went over these. Okay, yeah, okay, this is more information about these basically. Oh yeah, basically this is the materials of what you need to send her, basically. So you're gonna need to be doing Tokyo Daishoku winner garland races. You're gonna be needing JBC classic winner. Then you're gonna be needing Teo Show winner, and then Japan Dirt Derby. And then you're gonna just be needing a lot of those, as well as a lot of red shoes. And then we have an evolved skill here, which basically all you have to do is win any G1 race, dirt race 7 times, or fulfill a promise to your fans in the concert or the Connect Live event. So probably going to be doing the second one, and basically it changes from center stage to this new one, dazzling Umadols here, which at a random point during the opening leg, your lane movement speed will be greatly increased, which I think is going to be, let's see, which one is it? Is it the, yeah, it looks like it's center stage. Yeah, so center, basically above the center stage. And then that can also, let's see, there's another one here. So center stage, both of these are center stages. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess center stage can turn into 2 different ones unless they didn't do this right. But it looks like it's 2 different ones here for center stage. Another one here for center stage, I have to get to a different one though. And the condition for this one is basically having charm status affected at the end of training, or have at least 150,000 fans, or have at least spent 800 speed, or have at least 800 power. Then you can get no looking away, which basically at around a point in the final stretch, you will get a slight speed boost. So that should be, is that acceleration? It should probably be acceleration, I'd assume. But you know, not too bad, decent there. And then the last one here, which does buff trending in the charts, which will become Umando Power Trend. And this one, basically to do this one, you need at least 800 speed, or at least get 2 skills for dirt aptitude, and then get at least 2 recovery type skills. For this one, basically if you're in a dirt race during the middle of the race, if you've been blocked, so if you're getting blocked from the side for at least 2 seconds, your speed will increase and your stamina will slightly recover. So that's pretty good. That's not too bad. And then here's some other skills from her events. Leader's Pride, slightly avoid being passed on as a front runner. Slightly top pick, slightly increased velocity when engaged in a challenge mid-race dirt. Kawasaki Racetrack, if in Kawasaki, if your stamina stat is increased by 40%, okay, or by 40, I mean. So it's kind of decent there. And then last one here, Promising Omen, if you're in a dirt race, and if you're in the first half of the pack during the second half of the middle of the race. So basically, if you're in the front half and you're halfway through the race, then basically your speed will increase slightly here. Okay. And then basically here's all the races she's going to be doing. So we have the regular junior, we have pre-op, we have Satsuki Show, we have Japan Dirt Derby, JBC Classic, Tokyo Daishoten, February Stakes, Teo Show, JBC Classic, Champions Cup, and then the Tokyo Daishoten. So if you're interested in any of these races, she's going to be running these. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for what this Uma does and all her stuff and like all her different requirements. So if this is anything that interests you, or if the overall Uma interests you, then there you go. Hopefully it helps you guys out. Now let's see, let's look at the information. So, well, you know, love support card banners. I probably don't need to go too crazy into depth into these banners because you guys probably already have a decent idea, but I'll talk about a couple things here and there. So we'll just go a quick summary of both Supercreek and also Tazuna because they have both been in the game. But basically, these are what it's going to be looking like for Tazuna here as zero dupes. So nothing too crazy. Basically, it decreases the probability of failure when training together. So this is only during, I think, was it recreation events? Yeah, I think this is only during recreation events that this card will pop up really when you're using it. And then basically, your event recovery of 40%, event effectiveness 25%, failure protection 20%, and then energy cost reduction 15%. And then I guess what's more important though is probably the skills here. Oh, slightly more important, right? Because stats do matter for dupes. That's the reason why dupes matter, is because they will buff some of these things, right? So you get 60% event recovery, you get event effectiveness 35%, failure protection 30%, energy cost reduction 25%, which is actually, that's pretty good. Decreasing energy from consuming when you're training, that's actually very nice. Training effectiveness 10%, and the initial speed is 30, so actually kind of decent. But not like, this isn't like one of the best cards in the game, right? And then here's those skills, right? So we have focus, slightly decreased time loss when you start. We have concentration here, decreased time lost to slow starts. We have watchful eye, slightly decreased fatigue when positioned towards the back, early race if it's a mile, and then tail held high, slightly increased velocity when activating many skills. This one I think is kind of good, but like it depends if you do have, you know, a lot of skills that can activate really easily, right? But overall, not that many skills. It's a decent card. From what I remember though, this card isn't that bad if you do get an MLB, but it does get power crept very quickly from what I do remember. Now we have Supercreek here. It's a stamina card, best card in the game, still pretty good on JP for the most part, as far as I'm aware of. We'll just quickly go over the, all the other stuff here because it does have quite a bit. But basically, at 0 dupes, we're looking at increased effectiveness of training, friendship training by 10%, and then increase the frequency at which the character participates in the preferred training by 20. Friendship bonus is 20%, training effectiveness 10%, initial stamina 25%, race bonus 5%, fan bonus 15%, and special priority 20%. Now, a max dupe, we're looking at 25% friendship bonus, 15% training effectiveness, initial stamina 35%, race bonus 10%, fan bonus 20%, specialty priority 35%, which basically is the frequency at which the character participates in the preferred training. Stamina bonus is increased by 1, and then initial friendship gauge by 30. So pretty good there. And then initial friendship gauge will basically helps you not have to do random things to basically raise the bar meter for the friendship meter to get it to max. So that's going to be very useful once, to get these higher up, right? So you don't have to do random things, maybe if a support card like Supercreek here popped on guts, right? You don't want guts, then this being at 30 will basically help you not have to make decisions like that later on, because 30 basically already bumps the number up by quite a bit, so you can start focusing on which stats you want to focus on, right? Anyways, here's a support hint. So she's reducing and giving you a nice discount for firm conditions to moderately increase performance on firm ground. We have corner of recovery, slightly recover endurance on our corner with efficient turning. We have ramp up, slightly increased velocity when passing another runner mid-race. Pump stretch haste, slightly increased velocity in last sprint, one of my favorites. We have hesitant pace chasers, slightly decreased velocity on the pace chasers, so basically debuff the pace chasers. So there's decent stuff there. And then we have +6 stamina and +2 guts. So pretty good. And then we have skills from events. We have swinging maestro, recover endurance on our corner with efficient turning. This one's pretty good. And then we have deep breaths, slightly decreased fatigue by taking a breather upon entering a straight. This one's not too bad, I think. But overall, pretty good stuff here. She's mainly good for her, getting her MLB to get all these different buffs here, basically, like the whole fan bonus, race bonus, all that good stuff. And then some of these support hints are not too bad, and then her skills are actually pretty good, especially swinging maestro. I think that one's pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty much what she's doing. So if we go to the tier list here, we got a stamina. As you guys can still see, MLB still top tier, still number 1 best in the game on JP currently, because I'm going off the JP one, not the global one, because JP has a bit more information and a bit more feature cards, right? So I'm just trying to help you guys look out, as well as for me, as to which cards are more valuable, right? Because some cards will be better later on, or worse later on, because it might get powerful right away, right? Now, as you guys can see, right, for stamina, there isn't really any other SR cards that do beat out non-MLB, or non-MLB, and then also MLB, doesn't go past that. There's no C tier here. So Supercreek at 3 dupes basically is equivalent to what is it? Manhattan Cafe, right? I think that's her name, right? Manhattan Cafe. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure it's Manhattan Cafe. But basically, MLB Manhattan Cafe, the support card, this SR1 right here, as you guys can see, is D tier, but we're going off of, MLB and no MLB. So the fact that this is equivalent to 3 dupes of Supercreek, just saying something, in my opinion, that clearly, one's a little bit better than the other. So, you probably would just want to run your Manhattan Cafe here instead of Supercreek until you get Supercreek to MLB. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Granted, though, if you do have MLB Supercreek, but you don't have MLB Manhattan Cafe, then you probably want to run it. But as you guys can see, pretty much a really good card. And since this is JP, right, it's still in top tier, still regarded as one of the better cards in the game. That's where that one lands. And then we go to the Tazuna one, which is this recreation one or whatever. It's actually E to F tier, so pretty bad, right? Pretty bad. Not really in a good spot. There's gonna be other better ones in the future, right? For one, that'll be the when we get to that point where running these recreation cards are actually gonna be useful in some decks, which I think there probably will be some that are like that. Currently, though, on global, it is considered a tier 1, which is funny because this SR card is actually better apparently at MLB, which is really funny to me. But looks like it's because the stats are better. But yeah, as you can see, not really a card you want to go for overall. And then, of course, on global, Supercreek at MLB is still considered the best card of the game. Granted, though, actually, which is pretty interesting, they actually consider 3 dupe Supercreek better than Manhattan Cafe. Okay, so I guess it's slightly different because maybe some numbers here and there for the JP one. But yeah, so it looks like if you do get at least 3 dupe Supercreek, you're pretty much good to go. It's gonna be better than Man Cafe, so you're pretty much chilling with that. It's actually, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. I guess it's probably, you know what? I think, well, I guess in this case it makes more sense because this, you know, it's a little bit updated quicker. But in some cases like this for some reroll banners, I may look at the global one too, just to see like if there's any differences that might be important. But that pretty much wraps that up. Last bit here though before I do end the video, before it gets a little bit longer. As for the banner, personally, like I said in the last ones, but maybe you guys didn't see my last couple videos, I would not recommend to summon on the Supercreek and Tazuna banner if you pulled for Kitasan Black, or if you don't have enough to pity Supercreek. If you're in either one of those camps or two camps, basically either pull on Kitasan Black and or you don't have enough carrots to pity by Supercreek from pity from doing your pulls, not worth pulling for. I wouldn't really recommend it. Now, if you're, you know, for the other side, right, who can pull in this banner, basically you either have to be a whale, because, you know, but at that point you really would watch this video, right? The other one would be you didn't pull for Kitasan Black and you waited for this banner, because Kitasan Black is available on every single banner now. It's just not at a rate boost, right? So you may be able to get it while you do pulls on this banner. But basically, you would only be pulling on this banner if you didn't pull for Kitasan Black. But more importantly, if you at least have enough to pity at least one Supercreek, then I would say, okay, yeah, sure, go for pulling on this banner. But if you don't have enough carrots to pity by one Supercreek from doing your, you know, the 200 pulls or whatever, then don't summon. Just save your carrots. There's going to be better banners to summon for, especially Uma banners, you know, especially if there's any Umas you're interested in. I would save your carrots for those. Or more importantly, we will be having a rerun of Kitasan Black in the near future. And also, there'll be free SSR selector support tickets, which you can just buy or choose a free Supercreek card from that as well. And I think Kitasan Black will be available off of those, one of those in the future. If not, there's like the battle pass system that will come out where you can choose Kitasan Black from there. But yeah, basically, if you don't have enough to pity by Supercreek, don't pull. If you do, go ahead, have fun, see what you get. Otherwise, just save. For most banners in this game, and generally is summoning in this game, you want to make sure you have at least a pity by at least one copy of a character or a character or support card all the time. You don't really want to be throwing carrots like randomly on any banner, because you will regret it, because there's no like pity transfer. There's nothing like that in this game. So when your pity's gone, it is gone. It'll be transferred into statues that can be due up for Umas that you do own. Otherwise, they're basically lost in the void. That's why I highly recommend to not summon on any banner if you do not have enough to pity by at least one copy. But with that being said though, hope this video helps you guys out. I'm sorry about this being late and then being kind of like weird at some points maybe. But yeah, regardless, good luck with your summons if you guys are planning to summon for either banner. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Peace and take care, everybody.